Hello, if you're watching already, I apologise if you can hear the dogs. They will calm down in a minute. I've locked them outside, but I have a feeling the mic will still pick it up. Okay. And we are shared. How are we? I can see some people are on already. I just need to get a few more bits out. And whilst we're waiting, I'm going to set the oven to preheat. What does it need? 180. Okay. Hi Kathy, hi Mandy. Scales, that would be useful. So I am making the baked vanilla cheesecake from WTF. But as always, with a few adaptions. Again, apologise if I'm constantly looking down here. My laptop's here because I can't connect it to the screen behind me. So, right, base first. Butter, almond, and linseed is the usual concoction, along with a bit of sweetener. So, don't have any almonds. We do have a big bag of almonds, but Dad's put them somewhere, and I don't know where. And we also had a big bag of pecans, which I was also going to use, but I don't know where they are either. So we're improvising. I've got some milled linseed and some sunflower seeds, which I'm going to mill down. Now, these are a little bit higher in carbs, but if you take that into consideration, then it'll be fine. They're a good substitute if you're nut-free. Yeah. So I'll be using them in the base because I've got tons of them. The tin... I'm going to find the tin that I wanted to use. I was either going to do this. I wanted to do this either as a proper circular tin or in little cupcake cases. So if I can find the outer ring to that, then I'll use that because it makes life easier. See, that's too small. Ooh. Well, no, I think I just found the big one. No, don't have the base for that. I'm going to do these instead to make life easier. Instead of trying to hunt around for the... I got back from the walk late, which is why I'm not fully organised, and I didn't want to delay the live anymore. So I've got these little silicone cupcake cases. So we're going to make tiny little baked cheesecakes, which should be quite cute. Actually, they'll be good for Louie's lunchbox. I'm probably going to get more than 12 out of this, to be fair, because it's quite a lot of mix. So we'll see. I'll whack them on a little tray. Hi, Kath. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Sue. How was your swim? So Sue went open water swimming today. I'm not jealous. It's cold. Very cold. Okay. Silicone cupcake cases. We've had these for years and they still work really well. The base. Butter, obviously. Oh, we've had this beef joint slow cooking in the Ninja all day, and I'm only just starting to smell it. It's almost done. I've lost my marbles somewhere. Let me know if you find them. Okay, so according to the recipe, it's 50 grams of butter. 49 will do. And I'm gonna whack that in the microwave. Can I find the silicone lid? That is somewhere. Whatever it is. Oh. No, not there. Oh, there it is. Okay, right. I found the big cheesecake tin. So, question. Do you want me to do them as mini ones or standard cheesecake tin? Let me know. You've got until I finish the base. I can't decide, to be fair. Now, where is the... That's what I need. So, obviously I'm going to need to mill down the sunflower seeds to make a powder. So I've got our little Aldi blender again. It always works. Right, looks like the butter's done. Yep. Butter is melted. What's everyone saying? The big one. Okay, so I got this tray out for nothing. Alright. Big one is over here. Right, here we go. It's not this, don't worry. It's just all stacked up. Hi, Jane. Oh, see, now Emma says minis. So we've got 2 votes for big, 1 vote for mini. So I'll keep track. That's the size of the long one. It's an 8-inch tin. Or silicone cases. There we go. The vote is on. Let me know. As I said, you've got until I finish the base mixture, which will be probably 5 minutes. Oh, blade. Okay, I'm just going to chuck a load of these in, because if I have leftover, I have leftover. It's not an issue. This little blender is pretty good for blitzing things like this. It makes a good, if you use hazelnuts, it makes a good hazelnut butter as well. Obviously, you just need a little bit more oil. Okay. Apologies for the noise. Not quite. Okay, so we have 2 votes for mini. So it's equal now. Okay, so in total we need 150 grams of ground nuts or seeds. I'm going to use up what we have of linseed first, and then I'll just top it up with sunflower seeds. So I've not got a lot here. It's probably, yeah, it's 20 grams. So the rest of it's going to be sunflower. As I said, these are higher carb than if you were using like ground almond or something. Oh, I think I've got the perfect amount. I have as well. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Well, no leftover. And the last thing is a bit of sweetener. So, very organised, I know. We stock Pure Via on the website and we don't actually have it in the house. What we do have is a couple of sweeteners we've been given to test out. I don't know where you can get them from, and I can't give you a link to buy them because I don't know. it's just some things we're testing out. So the first thing is this allulose. To be honest, I've used it in a couple of things so far, and I'm not that big of a fan. To me, it's got a bit of an aftertaste, so I'm not going to bother putting any of that in the base because I don't need a lot in the base. What I will add is some monk fruit drops. So this is from a company called Lucanto. Again, I don't know where you can get it from. I apologise. Hopefully we'll have some news on it soon, but I can't see anything at the moment. It's the same sort of thing as stevia drops, in the sense that it's very, very sweet. You only need a little amount, so there's been like, 3 or 4 drops in this. And you know what? I'll add a little bit of vanilla extract in as well. I'm sorry, can you hear the dogs? All right, so here we go. To be honest, it's a little bit more. Oh, I'm glad that the camera focused. Then it's a little bit more not more crumbly. It's not as fine as if you were using store-bought ground almonds, because I could have blitzed it a bit longer. I just didn't want to leave it in too long and it turn into sunflower butter and ruin the life. So we're going to go with this. It will still work. All you've got to do is press it in nicely. And obviously it will set underneath the weight of the cheesecake as well. Exactly, Carol. Dogs will be dogs. I can't tell them to shut up because they don't know English. We've tried. The allulose is great for caramels and ice creams, but it's expensive. Yeah, so we've just got given this packet to try from Jo, who runs our distribution. She's constantly getting in random products to see what they're like. I don't know what it says on here. But it's great for baking fluffier, softer recipes like cakes, muffins, and quick breads. Great in coffee, tea, smoothies, and caramel. Now, I've used this in a mousse, and I just wasn't a fan. My preferred one is the Purvia. But, everyone's different. Okay, so we had a tie on big and minis. Coco's saying make the mini one. I'm going to agree with mini, purely because I need these to bake and cool quickly because we want them for dessert. So, mini it is. I don't know how many I've got. I've got plenty of cases here. How many have I got? 15. The recipe says makes 12 portions. So, we'll see. I might get more, I might get less. Alright, so I know this bowl weighs around about 150 grams. So, sorry, maths, 180. Right, okay, so we'll go with, let's see what 10 grams looks like, but it's probably going to be closer to 20. Right there, that's 12. Okay, we'll do 15. 15 grams per cupcake. So I'm just putting a little spoon in and then using the back of my spoon to press it down. It's going to be not an overly thick base. Probably about, I don't want to sound really precise, but 0.75 of a centimetre. It's over half, but it's not quite 1. So, around about that. Yeah, so because I've ground these sunflower seeds myself, this will probably have quite a texture to it. And then the topping is really easy. It's just cream cheese and eggs with a bit of sweetener or flavouring or whatever you want to use. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice in as well as the vanilla. Not so that it's like a lemon cake or lemon cheesecake, but just to give it a bit of zing. I've got one heart-shaped case here. So this is going to be the odd one out. So how are we all doing? Have we been making anything today? What are you making for dinner? As I said, Dad set off like a slow cook beef joint in the Ninja Foodie, so that's what we're having. It's just in a bit of beef stock from way back when we made the Asda shopping video, and we still have some of that beef stock left over, so we thought we'd use some of that up. It's not the best. We prefer to use our own bone broth, but it was just, we wanted to show you what you can get if you don't want to make your own bone broth. Or that's just in we pan fried off some, or actually no, we used the Ninja for all of this sear function. I've completely stopped weighing these now. I'm just hoping this is about the same quantity in each cupcake. Yeah, put a bit of coconut oil in the bottom. It was we tend to use unflavoured coconut oil for everything when we like deep fry and whatnot. And it was just some that we had left over, like barbecue seasoning in or something. Bit of that in the bottom with some shallots and some chopped munchkin pumpkins, because that was all the rage like a week ago in the members group. We had some to use up. And then, yeah, just whacked a beef joint in the middle of it. Smells great. Just made cauliflower cheese soup and some cheese and walnut coleslaw. Nice. So I've got the oven preheating behind me. It's on 180. It needs to be on 180 for the base, and then we'll knock the temperature down to 160 to bake these. Now, if you're baking a full cheesecake, it's going to take an hour. It depends on the size of your tin, obviously. So I realised I hadn't tasted the mix. Oh, it tastes great. This is our usual cheesecake tin, so it's 8-inch, and obviously quite deep. So the cheesecake comes out about this deep. We do have one that's 9, and obviously the cheesecake comes out a little bit flatter, so it takes less time to cook. And obviously these will take even less, so probably 20 minutes and they'll be done. All you want, I mean, the book says, bake for 1 hour, depending on the size of your tin, until the mix is fully set. Allow the cheesecake to cool fully. It's best chilled overnight, or in our case, I'll just whack it in the fridge and hope for the best, because we want some for dessert. Before removing from the tin, it will split slightly. So yeah, so it'll rise up like a quiche, I suppose. It'll rise up, and then obviously it'll collapse back down again as it cools and creates that lovely caramelized looking top. Okay. So I'm not going to get 3 more. I'm probably going to get, yeah, I'll use one more cupcake case, and then just divide these crumbs across them that are looking particularly small. Okay. All right, so those are going to go in. There we are. So if you don't really, you can see, there you go. That's how much, you can see quite the shadow. That's how much I've filled it. Packed it down lightly. They're just going to go in the oven for 10 minutes, just to crispen them up, make them a bit golden. There's nothing in here that needs to be cooked, so to speak, but it's just to make them a bit firmer. And I'll whack the timer on so I don't forget. Okay, I'm going to use the same bowl because I can't be bothered to use another one. It's all going in the same thing. Cream cheese, eggs, and sweetener. That's basically it. And then you add what you want. There is, in FFS, there's a chocolate cheesecake recipe, which actually, it was one of Louis' creations. I mean, he took the vanilla cheesecake and basically turned it into a chocolate one. So he started off by, so the base is the same, 600 grams of cream cheese and 2 large eggs. He started off by just adding 50 grams of melted chocolate in, mixed that in, and it wasn't quite chocolatey enough for us, so we added another 20 grams of cocoa powder. So essentially, once you've got this base, you can add whatever you want. If you like using the My Protein flavor drops, if you're okay with sucralose, you can flavor it with whatever else. If I was making this for Dad, I'd probably add the banana flavor drops in because he really likes them. I'm not a huge fan on banana flavoring, and Louis hates it, so he would really hate me. The best one I've ever made of this cheesecake was actually Christmas last year. I made a chocolate orange one, so just oil-based orange essence, and just add it into the chocolate version of this recipe, and it was lovely. You could even add some, you could add some like orange zest or something in the base. That'd be nice. Right, so it's basically 3 of these tubs of cream cheese. This is from Aldi. One thing I would say is that some cream cheeses tend to be saltier than others. This one's fine for us. It does contain salt, but it's 99% milk, so it's only 1% salt. However, someone made this cheesecake with the Lidl cream cheese and found it too salty, so potentially they had more salt in. Just something to be aware of. Although, salted chocolate cheesecake sounds amazing. So we had our village farmers market yesterday, which means we're stocked up on eggs again. So at least I only need 2 for this recipe anyway, but it's nice to know we've got trays of them in the cupboard. They last us pretty much the month. It's great. Sorry, I hate these foil. I mean, they never just come off in one, do they? You always have to splinter off. So I haven't made the plan for the lives next week yet. Although I was starting to make a meal plan for us next week based on what we've got in the cupboard, or in the fridge, sorry. So like we've got these steaks from our village deli. It's always nice. It's a nice treat getting stuff from there. So we might have them tomorrow. I've planned, I know Dad's making kedgeree with the members on Wednesday, so that's sorted. But I don't actually think he's cooking live. He might be cooking live on Tuesday, so I thought we'd do breaded chicken and ratatouille, because we've not done ratatouille in ages. And then on Friday, we're not cooking live. We moved our Q&A to then. But we've also got quite a few things to talk about on that live. So I won't say any more. I haven't decided what I'm making on Sunday, so let me know. I like doing these little baked things because this is the only time I really bake during the week. So let me know if you have a particular recipe you'd want me to make. Basically, well, no, I was about to say bread. Not bread. We've had enough of bread for a little while with the bakery. So sweet treat. What sweet thing would you like me to make? So this was actually Louis' request. He wanted cheesecake because he really likes baked cheesecake. And I thought it'd be ideal for him to take in his lunches. Okay. It's a lot of cream cheese. There's the cream cheese, and then eggs. Ooh, almost lost an egg. That would not have been good. Sorry, I've got a plaster on my hand, so it makes cracking eggs a little bit harder. Coffee cake, there's a good shout. I like that idea. Alright, Right, so I'm just going to whisk these together. It'll take a little bit of work, so bear with me. Also doesn't help, I say this in every live, but this table's a little bit too high for me, so I'm on my tiptoes right now. So I can get properly whisking. It does help, and I should have, taken these out earlier. It does help if your cream cheese is a bit warmer. This has come straight from the fridge. But it's getting there, it's fine. I'm going to use that just to get the cream cheese out from the middle of the whisk, because obviously it's all clumpy inside. We don't want that. Yeah, coffee cake. I like that idea. Okay, so I could do a chocolate topping, or I could do just a standard whipped cream. I can see if I can find the pecans that have mysteriously gone missing. I can top it with pecans. Why don't you get a little stall? I'm not sinking to that level, Joe. No, I think a stall would be a good idea. Okay, so if the coffee cake hasn't risen, potentially it might be the tin size. The thing with keto cakes is they're not going to rise an awful lot. It's a constant battle we have with things like Mega when we produce them. So, sorry, there we go. Cream cheese, I don't want to pour it or tilt the pot too much, but cream cheese and eggs mixed together. It looks like a cheesecake filling. Flavourings. So I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, not enough to make it a lemon cheesecake, but lemon in cream cheese and with vanilla extract works wonders. It's lovely. Don't laugh at me, Joe. Obviously, I'm freehanding this, but you can use measurements if you want. It's about a teaspoon of vanilla, and I've probably put about 2 teaspoons of lemon in. I'll taste the mix and I'll see where we go from here. Obviously, I need to add some sweetener in, so I recommend using the Truvia or the Pure Via, the stevia and erythritol blends. But as I said, I don't have them. I do have monk fruit, so I'm just going to add some drops in. And we'll see what this is like. That's the other reason I'm using lemon juice as well, because obviously it gives it another taste, another flavour, without it being just sweetener, basically. So it's good. I'm going to add a little bit more vanilla. So the timer just went off, so let's have a look at these bases. If I can get a tan. Nice. They smell great. Oh. Let's be prepared. Perfect. So they're just going golden around the edges. Obviously, they're going to continue baking when I have the filling on top of them as well. So you don't want them like crispy. I'm going to knock the temperature down to 160. You can hear these actually. They're not sizzling, but you can tell they're cooking. Sorry, can you see the colour on that? I can't tilt the tray anymore, so you're just going to have to trust me that they're cooked. Okay. Now, any suggestions as to what I could do with this? I wanted to add some berries in. I don't know whether I've got... I don't think we've got any jam in. I don't really want to use fresh strawberries. Let's see if we've got any frozen berries in. Got some frozen raspberries in here, which will go nicely. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to whack like a frozen raspberry in the middle of each one, I think. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Rosie. Blueberries, or we really like using black currants in baking, but I don't have any, so we're just going to have to stick with raspberries. I might do like a little chocolate drizzle on top of this, depending on how they taste afterwards. Okay, so this is with a little bit extra vanilla. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to add a tiny bit more. It's difficult to guess how much sweetener to use. I mean, if you're using pure Via, it's 20 grams. But obviously, just taste the mix and change it depending on your taste buds. So we'll bring the bases over. All right. Now, this is quite a lot of mix, so if I have some left over, I might just whack them in some empty cases and we just have some cheesecake bites without the base, but we'll see. So it's lovely and silky, this. I'm trying my hardest to not spill it everywhere, but it's not going very well. This bowl has a pouring, part to the edge, but it all just kind of seeps over the sides anyway. So I'm leaving about 1 centimetre at the top to allow them to rise up, but obviously they won't rise an awful lot from where they are now, but they'll rise and sink to give that sort of that baked cheesecake look. I'm kind of sacrificing some mix every time I move between cases. Yeah, so I'm going to have some mix left over. I don't want to overfill these because I don't want them to have like muffin tops. So I'll get some spare cases, and these are just going to be baseless cheesecakes. Ooh. Do I not? No, I won't. I was going to put some almonds in the base, but we're not a fan of almonds with the skin on, and that's the only ones I've got. If you didn't want to bother with making the base, you could just add some crushed nuts at the bottom. That would work. I think Dad and Louie are back, so they've been at the bakery all day. I'm getting quite a lot out of this, to be fair. I'm making a bit of a mess. Okay, and I think one more case, and that'll do it. Look at the amount of cheesecakes I've got here. This is great. Okay. So I should probably, actually there's no point because I'll take them out of their cases anyway. I was going to mark what was, had a base and what doesn't, but it's fine. And they're all filled fairly well. Actually, that could do a little bit more. Can you freeze them? I was just thinking about that in my head. Instinct says yes, because you can freeze like quiche and things like that. The only thing we wouldn't freeze is boiled eggs. We're just not a fan of boiled eggs when they defrost. Okay, so raspberries. Thanks, Rosie. So I'm just going to whack a little raspberry in the middle. Hopefully it turns out all right. It shouldn't affect, okay, these are pretty small, so I'll add 2 raspberries to this one. Shouldn't affect the rice much. Just pressing them in lightly. In the book, and I think it's on the recipe library as well, there's a little bit of direction for if you wanted like a berry swirl. So you can do a lot with this now. You could melt some chocolate and swirl that into the mix. So as if you were doing what I'm doing here, place a blob of whatever it is. So you could do homemade jam, melted chocolate, homemade hazelnut butter or almond butter or whatever you want. Place a little dollop in and then get like the edge of a knife, like that edge, and just very gently swirl around. Don't mix it in. Just do a couple of swirls and leave it. Stop before you think you should stop. That's generally the best piece of advice. And then you get a lovely swirl baked into the cheesecake. So that's what's in. See that photo there? It's got a nice berry swirl. So there's a couple of, you can see the dollops of jam, and then you can see where there's just trails of berries throughout. And it really works. So there's a top tip. I'll tell you what, these would be good for Christmas. You could add like some cinnamon in or mixed spices to these. And obviously they're a nice little individual portion. If you like mince pie, it's always nice to have a tray of something. We do have a mince pie recipe. I will be filming a video for that, so stay tuned. I've also got some little, you know, the little crumbly raspberry bits, so I'm just getting some of them. Most of this is just kind of frozen into one solid block. So they're doing their best. I love when you've been handling frozen raspberries and it looks like you've been like bleeding hysterically from your hands. So little dollops of crushed raspberry. I'm trying to crush it up as I'm going along. Right, that's about as much crushed raspberry as there is. So these need to go back in the freezer. Ooh, now I'm having loads of raspberries. Do I have any left? Yes, I do. Cacao nibs. These will go nicely. So these I always find work best when you've baked them. They are quite bitter, so they're an acquired taste, but they do really work for toppings like this, and they add a nice little crunch. Cacao nibs don't melt, so they're nice if you've got like a chocolate cake and you wanted chocolate chips in it, but obviously if you just use plain store-bought chocolate, it'll melt when you bake with it. These won't. So it's a really quick hack. You know, if you're looking for sugar-free chocolate chips, but you don't want to pay a fortune for the ones that are currently on the market, get some cacao nibs. Super healthy too. And they do make everything look so much prettier. I'll post a photo of these later because they're going to look amazing, if I do say so myself. And this is one of those recipes that doesn't use a lot of sweetener either, because obviously the, especially if you use things like berries and the lemon juice and things like that, you don't need a lot of sweetness. So if you're not a fan of the aftertaste of a lot of sweetness, this is a good recipe for you. Alright, let me just let the dogs in. Come on then. You got to behave though. Can't be noisy. Alright, so these are going to go back in the oven for 15 minutes probably. When I post these, I'll let you know how long they did take. So how many have I got? 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 cheesecakes in total. 13 of which have a base and 5 of which are just leftover filling. So there we go. Obviously they won't take the full hour that the book says because that's based off an 8-inch tin. They're in degrees, and I've got the timer on just over 15 minutes. And basically, once they're solidified on top and they've got a little bit golden, take them out, let them cool, let them sink, and they're always best when they're properly cool if you're wanting to eat them soon. So what I'll do is, once they've been cooling for 10 to 15 minutes, I'll put them in the fridge just to finish off, and hopefully make them set a lot quicker. Okay, there we go. Thanks for watching. The recipe link is in the descriptions of either of the videos you're watching, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, or head to the website, ketofitnessclub.com. Search cheesecake. There's a few other recipes in there for you. There's the chocolate one, there's the no-bake one, and there's the choco nut one, which is the no-bake with chocolate hazelnut butter. No, Karen, cheesecake is better when it's properly cooled. Oh, is this a debate now? What's it best at, room temperature or cold? Cold. Very, very cold. It's the only thing that, like, brownies heat up. Yeah, lovely and gooey. Cheesecake, no, cold. Right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you, I don't know when. That might be live on Tuesday, but keep an eye out for the live schedule posts going up soon. Goodbye.